Welcome back to Twin Football, the YouTube channel that covers the NFL and the Premier League. Today, I want to talk about Pep, Manchester City struggles, and the Manchester Derby coming up. Thank you very much for joining us. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. The game of the weekend is the Manchester Derby. Pep Guardiola comes out and says, hey, I don't sleep well. I don't eat well. And that is amidst a 10-game streak where they only have one win in the last 10 games. A very rare thing for Pep Guardiola in any of his seasons, let alone a team that won the treble a couple of years ago. They take on Manchester United at the Etihad, which if you are going to take on a top six team and you're Pep Guardiola, you want it to be Manchester United. He has only a better record against Arsenal in teams from the top six. Pep Guardiola has never lost at the Etihad against Manchester United. They've lost, obviously, FA Cup finals, League Cup semifinals. Well, actually, the League Cup semifinal a couple years ago, they lost that 1-0, but they ended up winning on aggregate and advancing to the final of the League Cup, where they ended up beating Villa in the final. So really, they won the tie. That game doesn't really matter. We saw that with Chelsea against Servette, where we went away from home and lost, but we're ahead so much in the tie that it didn't really matter. And so they shouldn't lose this game, but their form dictates that they will either draw or lose this game. And on the other side, you got Ruben Amorim, who has made 26, 27 changes so far to start his career as United manager. I personally do not have a problem with this many changes. Obviously, you need some time to figure out who your players are that are going to work in your system. He is changing the philosophy from any of the previous managers so drastically. Obviously, you get players coming back from injury as well, like Yoro, who I think is going to be a staple in that back line eventually when he's fully healthy. Obviously, you brought in Mazraoui to start the summer, so he has been so integral, but you can chop and change what's his best position in this system. And you have obviously players who are on the older side of things that you want to test out for this season, but long-term, they're probably not going to be at the club. So what do you do with those types of players? Taking all of that into consideration, plus the festive period of scheduling, I can totally understand his chopping and changing. Mason Mount probably needs to be in the squad this weekend. Ahmad needs to be in this weekend's matchup. I think you got to have, obviously, Mazraoui will be there. We'll see De Ligt, Yoro. We'll see De Ligt obviously dealing with that toe injury, I believe. So we'll see who he ends up there. I think Onana is trash. Like, he's over. It's done. He needs to be moved on. You can't keep having these mistakes like he is having. These aren't just mistakes where you're trying to do something and it's just not coming off, like execution mistakes, like playing the ball out of the back. Your manager wants you to play a certain way. You're not maybe as skilled enough to do that, and it just doesn't come off 100% of the time, and you're just going to live with that. Okay, we've seen that with great goalkeepers like Alisson Becker and Ederson, where they have given the ball away with their feet. Obviously, those systems, Liverpool and City, they're going to keep playing that way. It is what it is. They've won Champions Leagues playing that way. The goalkeepers have been the best players in the world at that position, respectively. Okay, mistakes are going to happen. What Andre Onana is doing week in, week out over the last 18 months or so has been just poor goalkeeping mistakes. It's nothing that you can fix. It's just a poor goalkeeper. He's not good enough. He's not the quality that you are used to when you are watching Manchester United, and he needs to be moved on. Yes, I know United aren't trying to challenge for anything, but this team has won an FA Cup. This team has won a League Cup in recent years, Europa League not too long ago. They can win these types of trophies, but they really need solid goalkeeping play to do so. Obviously, Onana has won trophies with United, but over the last 12, 18 months, it's starting to get worse and worse. And I think you need to get rid of him before it is completely untenable. And I think he needs to be moved on. He probably will play this weekend, but I think he needs to be moved on. And because he's playing this weekend, Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland, I like to get on the score sheet and get an assist for Kevin De Bruyne. And to win at home, I don't think they're going to turn around this ship immediately, but I do like them to win this Manchester Derby. Let me know your thoughts on the scores of the weekend and enjoy the football.